Jai Sri Krishna. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 9, the passing away of Bhīṣmadeva in the presence of Lord Sri Krishna. Here in the verse 29, it was mentioned that while Bhīṣmadeva was describing occupational duties, the sun's cross ran into the northern hemisphere. This period is desired by mystics who die at their will. So here it is mentioned धर्मं प्रबधतास कालः प्रत्युपस्थितः यो योगिनश्चन्द्रमूर्त्य मूर्त्य व्यश्चित व्यश्चितास ततुर्यानः. So here the purport is the perfect yogis or mystics can leave the mystical material body at their own sweet will at a suitable times and go to a suitable planet desired by them. In the Bhagavad Gita 8.24, it is said that a self-realized souls who have exactly identified themselves with the interest of a supreme lord can generally leave the material body during the time of the higher gods effulgence and when the sun is the northern horizon and thus achieved the transcendental sky. in the vedas in the Vedas, these times are considered auspicious for quitting the body, and they are taken advantages of by the expert mystics who have perfected the system. Perfection of a yogi means attain of such supermental state states as to be able to leave the material body as desired. Yogis can also reach any planet within no time without a material vehicle. The yogis can reach the highest planetary system within a very short time, and this is impossible for the materialist. Even attempting to reach the highest planet will take millions of years at a speed of millions of miles per hour. This is a different science, and Bhishmadeva knew well how to utilize it. He was just waiting for the suitable moment to quit his material body, and the golden opportunity arrived when he was instructing his noble grandsons, the Pandavas. He thus prepared himself to quit his body before the exalted Lord Sri Krishna. These pious Pandavas and the great sages headed by Bhagavan, Vyasa, etc., all great soul. So here in the next verse, it was mentioned that therefore in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 9, verse 30, it was mentioned that they are often that man who spoke on different subjects with thousands of meanings and who fought on thousands of battlefields and protected thousands of men, stopped speaking and being completely free from all bondage, withdrew his mind from everything else and fixed his wide open eyes upon the original personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, who stood before him, four-handed, dressed in yellow garments that glittered and shined. So here it is mentioned तद् तदोपसदुत्य गिरः सर सहग्राणि विमुक्तमृड मन आदिपुरुषे कृष्णलसप्राप्तपदे चतुर्भुजे पुरः स्थिते मिलितद्रग्य व्याधरयत्. So here the purport is in the momentous hour of leaving his material body, Bhishmadeva set the glorious example concerning the important function of a human form of life. The subject matter which attract the dying man become the beginning of the next life. Therefore, if one is absorbed in thoughts of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, he is sure to go back to Godhead without any doubts. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, verse 15, 5 to 15. In the 5, in the 5, verse 5, it was mentioned that whoever at the time of death quit his body, remembering me alone, at once attain my nature. Of this there is no doubt. In the verse 6, it was mentioned that whatever state of a being one remember when he quits his body, that state he will attain without fail. In the verse 7, it was mentioned that Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of a Krishna and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting without your activity dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me. You will attain me without doubt. In the verse 8, it was mentioned that he who meditates on the supreme personality of a Godhead, his mind constantly engaged in remembering me and undeviated from the path. He, O Partha Arjuna, is sure to reach me. Then in the verse 9, it was mentioned that one who meditate upon the supreme personality of a Godhead, supreme person, as the one who knows everything, as he who is the oldest, who is the controller, who is smaller than the smallest, who is the maintainer of everything, who is beyond all the material conception, who is inconceivable, and who is always a person. He is luminous like the sun, and being transcendental is beyond this material nature. In the verse 10, it was mentioned that one who at the time of death fixed his life air between the eyebrows and in full devotion engaged himself in remembering the Supreme Personality of a Godhead will certainly attain the Supreme Personality of a Godhead. In the verse 11, it was mentioned that a person learned in the Vedas who utter Omkar and who are great sages in the renounced order enter into Brahmana, desiring such perfection. One practice celibacy. I shall now explain to you this process by which one may attain salvation. In the verse of 12, it was mentioned that the yogic situation is that of a detachment from all the sensual enjoyment, closing all the doors of the sense and fixing the mind on the earth and the life air at the top of the head. One establishes himself in yogi. In the verse 13, it was mentioned that after being situated in this yoga practice and vibrating the sacred syllable Om, the supreme combination of a letter each, if one thinks of a supreme personality of a Godhead and quits his body, he will certainly reach the spiritual planets. In the verse 14, it was mentioned that for one who remember me without devotion, I am easy to obtain. Deviation, sorry. Without deviation, I am easy to obtain. O sons of Pata, because of his constant engagement in a devotional service. In the verse 15, it was mentioned that after attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of misery because they have attained the highest perfection. In Sri Bhīṣmadeva attained the perfection of quitting his body at a will and was fortunate enough to have Lord Sri Krishna at the object of his attention. Personally present at the time of death, he therefore fixed his open eye upon him. He wanted to see Lord Sri Krishna for a long time out of his spontaneous love for him because he was a pure devotee. He had very little to do with the details performance of a yogi's principle. Simply, simple bhakti yoga is enough to bring about perfection. Therefore, the ardent desire of Bhīṣmadeva was to see the person of Lord, the most lovable object, and by the grace of Lord Sri Bhīṣmadeva had this opportunity to at the last stage of his breathing. So, in this verse, it is clearly mentioned that those um, um, who can attain the Godhead, who can attain the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, Jai Jagannath, Jai Sri Krishna.